Good evening, everyone. This is Robert. RJL Network presents another exciting edition of Inside Pitch Advanced. The 1980 season is on the air. Today's date is May 6, 1980. We are at the Big A, Anaheim Stadium, for an American League matchup between the Toronto Blue Jays and the California Angels. Not a bad game tonight. The Blue Jays come into this game a record of 11-10. The Angels a record of 12-10. So both these teams at the moment have winning records early on here in the 1980 season in the second month. So pretty good matchup tonight between the Jays and the Halos. And I look forward to hopefully an exciting game. We've had some low-scoring games lately, and this one may not be much different because historically this was a low-scoring game also. Dave O'Nine joins us here first at Anaheim Stadium. The Blue Jays historically won this game 3-2. The Blue Jays had 7 hits and no errors. The Angels had 7 hits and 1 error. But we'll see what Inside Pitch has to say tonight. So, another exciting game on tap, and it's time to get started. Let's get ready. Let's see what we got. Starting pitcher for the California Angels tonight is Don Aase. I always felt he was a capable pitcher, even though this year he had a rough season. 8 wins, 13 losses, 2 saves, a 4.06 ERA. But he gets the call for the Halos tonight. We are at Anaheim Stadium. This is pretty much a pitcher's park. Only 3 home run cells on the ballpark card. No adjustments to anything. There is a possible chance of robbing a home run, but not each wall is about 8. So a home run can be robbed here if a 1 is rolled on a home run shot. So, and Brian B now joins us here at Anaheim Stadium. So, everyone is set and ready to go. A nice matchup here in the American League between the Jays and the Halos. How will this game go tonight? Let's find out. Let's go to the top of the first. Leading off for the Blue Jays, the shortstop, Alfredo Griffin, 254 average, 2 homers, 41 RBIs, and 80. We're going to use red, white, and black dice. Angels are the home team. And if everyone is set and ready, let's play a good American League matchup tonight. Aase, 2-5, strikeout 10, and that will be too high. Griffin, 7-7, and that is going to be a fly ball to right field. No runners in scoring position. And getting to that is going to be Dan Ford, and he will make the catch for the out. Next batter, the center fielder, Rick Bosetti, 213 average, 4 homers, 18 RBIs that year. Aase, 4-2, it's a blank. Bosetti, 4-3, and that's powered into right field. That's a 1. That's going to be a base hit. Bosetti will get a single into right, and he'll hold the first. So first hit of the game there for the Blue Jays. And now the right fielder, Barry Bonnell, 268 average, 13 homers, 56 RBIs. Bosetti had 4 steals, really not a threat. And he does get the jump, though. But an 8 plus 1 is a 9. And Donahue plus 1 is a 10. And he can stay where he is. As Ernest Cruz now joining us here at Anaheim Stadium. Aase, 1-3, strikeout, he'll get Bonnell. First strikeout from Aase. He did have 74 of them in 80. 2 outs. And now the designated hitter, Otto Velez, 269 average, 20 homers, 62 RBIs. Strategy roll for Bosetti. He'll stay where he is. Aase, 3-3 against the righty. Strikeout 11. Swing and a miss. Struck him out, and that will end it. Second strikeout for Aase. No runs and a hit for the Blue Jays. And we'll go to the bottom of the first. I'm expecting Cutter Historical to join us soon because he knows his Jays are definitely, because he knows his Toronto Blue Jays are on the board, as the lovely Barbara joins us here at Anaheim Stadium. Starting pitcher for the Toronto Blue Jays tonight is Dave Lemanczyk. 2 wins, 5 losses, a 5.40 ERA. He only had 8 starts for the Blue Jays that year. He would get traded, actually, to the Angels later. He'll be on the California Angels later in the season, but he is a Blue Jay at this time, as Philip Reynolds joins us here at Anaheim Stadium. I think it's Don Aase. I thought it was Aase. I'm not sure where. I don't know where it'd be Aase, but someone may could be sure. I'm not sure, but I always thought it was Aase because I don't see a U for Aussie, but I could be wrong. Leading off for the Angels, center fielder Rick Miller, 274 average, 2 homers, 38 RBIs in 80. That's not a bad year. Lemanczyk, 7.5. That is a blank. Miller, 1-2. That's going to be an infield single to third. Charging in is going to be Baylor. He's not going to get it. Bob Baylor will have to eat it, and that will be an infield single. Here's the third baseman, Carney Lansford. He was a heck of a player. 261 average, 15 homers, 80 RBIs. Carney Lansford definitely belongs in the Hall of the Very Good. Some people even think Hall of Fame. Double play set, and that is an 18, nothing happening. Lemanczyk, 6'8", walk. 16 is going to be high. Lansford, 6'4", and that's a fly to center field. And Rick Bassetti will get to it and put it away for out number 1. Next batter is the first baseman. This man needs no introduction as well. Hall of Famer, Rod Carew. I'm sure nobody will object if I say he's definitely one of the greatest of all time. 331 average, 3 homers, 59 RBIs. Maybe the best pure contact hitter I ever saw. Miller on at first. Strategy roll, he will stay there. Lemanczyk will deal. Lemanczyk, 7'8". It's a blank. Carew, a 7'6", and he's going to smack one into center field, and that's going to be a double. Let's see if it'll score Miller. Miller, a 4-4, a double. And let's see, 4-4, double to center field. Advances if there are 2 out. There is. No, actually, I'm sorry, there's only 1 out. So he will hold, actually, at third. So Miller will hold at third base, but Carew gets a double to move the runners over. So Carew shows off his Hall of Fame ability. And now the infield's going to play in here. And it will be the designated hitter, Don Baylor. 250 average, 5 homers, 51 RBIs. You have Lansford. You believe Carew was a twin as well. Of course, yes, Rod Carew was a twin. He did start as a twin. Absolutely. He is one of the greatest of all time. Strategy roll. Nothing on the 4. Lemanczyk in a little bit of trouble here. The infield will be in. Lemanczyk, 8-4. And against a righty, that's going to be a blank. Baylor, 3-3. And it's a base hit to right field. Angels will take an early lead. Miller will score. Single to right for Carew. 6-4 and 6'4", holds if the arm rating is a 4-7. Right fielder for Toronto is Bonnell. His arm rating is a 4. Carew will hold at third base. As the throw goes in quick, and Carew holds at third, but the Angels have a 1-0 lead. So RBI single for Baylor. Brings in a run. Carew holds at third. Bonnell has an arm rating, and he would hold on a 6'4", and he holds if the arm rating is a 4 or 7, and it is. So still runners at the corners. And now here's the right fielder, Dan Ford. 279 average, 7 homers, 26 RBIs. Infield's going to move back to double play. So strategy roll here early, and nothing happening there. Lemanczyk, 4-8. That's an error on a foul out or grounder at the park. Anaheim Stadium, 6-1. And that is going to be, that is a ground ball. That is a ground ball. If I believe on that, yes, it is. That is a ground ball. That is a ground ball to first. That ball is hit to Mayberry. His error rating is a 6. That's a 17. Mayberry will hold on to it, and Lemanczyk will get it. So the infield was in, So let's see what they do. So runners at the corners, infield was double play depth. So I'm sorry. So he doesn't make an error. So let's see what happens. So let's see. Let's roll a D20. And that is a 19. And that's going to be I don't have to go any further. That is going to be a double play. That's going to be a 3-6-3 double play. And that will retire the side. 1 run on 3 hits for the Angels. They have a 1-0 lead, as he does not make an error. He does make a 3-6-3 double play. 1-0 Halos after 1. We go to the second. Leading off for the Blue Jays will be the first baseman, John Mayberry. 248 average, 30 homers, 82 RBIs. Not bad for a year. Mayberry, of course, is at first for this game. Aase, 2-8, walk. 14 is ball 4. He will walk Mayberry. So Mayberry will trot to first. First walk given up by Aase. He had 63 of them in 80. Here's the left fielder, Al Woods. 300 batting average, 15 homers, 47 RBIs. That is a good year. Mayberry on it first, strategy, and that's a 20. Nothing happening there. Woods actually does get the bunt sign, but he'll swing away. Aase will deal. Aase, 4-2. That's a blank. Woods, a 3-7, and that is a ground ball to third. Let's see if there's going to be a double play. Could be. Let's see. Ground ball to third. That is a 2. Aase adds 4, which makes that plus 4 is a 6. And grounded to third, there's no adjustment. So the 6 is going to be higher than John Mayberry. So that's going to be a fielder's choice, as Woods did not ground out into many double plays. So Mayberry is forced out at second on the fielder's choice, 1 out. Here's the second baseman, Damaso Garcia. He would actually become a leadoff hitter, mostly for Toronto later. He's 23 years old here. 278 average, 4 homers, 46 RBIs. That is a fine year. Infield still a double play, and nothing on the strat. Aase, 3-3 against the righty. Strikeout, no. Garcia, 8-3, and that is going to be a ground ball. That's a ground ball to short. That's a 2. That's not going to be a double play. So it's a ground ball to short. So 2 plus 4 is 6. Hit to short plus 1 is 7. It's higher than Woods, but lower than Garcia. That is going to be another fielder's choice. 2 down. So Garcia will get to first on another fielder's choice. And now the third baseman, Bob Baylor. Baylor played many positions, even pitched a little bit in 1980. He's at third base tonight. 236 average, a homer, and 16 RBIs that year. 2 men down, strategy roll. Nothing on the 19. Aase will deal. Aase, 5-7, range play at the park. Anaheim, 7-3. It's a base hit past second. Second base is Bobby Grich. His range is a 5. That's a 7. He won't make it. That will be a single past second. Garcia does have the speed, and he will get to third. So a base hit for Baylor past Grich. Not easy to do to get it past him, but he does. And Damaso Garcia, with a base running rating of 4, becomes a 5 with 2 outs. That did get him to third base. So a single for Baylor. And now the catcher, Ernie Witt, 237 average, 6 homers, 34 RBIs. Runners at the corners, still 2 outs here in the top of the second. Strategy, nothing on the 5. Aase, 8-4, error on a booted ball. Witt, 1-5, and that's going to be a ground ball to second base. That ball is hit to Grich. His error rating is a 4. That's a 1, and he's going to boot it. They're going to bring him. That's going to be an error. That's going to be an error. That's going to be 1 runner's advance of base. Garcia will come in to score. Baylor Gets the second with the first. We're tied at 1. Grich doesn't make many errors, but he makes one here. That is an E4, and that allows a run to come in. First error on the game on the Angels. They did have an error in the game historically. And now the top of the order for Griffin. Aase gives Grich a look and says, "Come on, man. You've been playing this game a while. You should have made that. So Griffin is 0 for 1. Strategy roll. Nothing on the 16. Aase deals. Aase 4-4. That's a blank. Griffin 3-1. And that'll be a fly to right. Easy play for Ford. And Ford will get to it and make the catch. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error, and a walk. We go to the bottom of the second. Leading off for the Angels will be the left fielder, Joe Rudy. 237 average, 16 homers, 53 RBIs in 80. Lemanczyk will deal. Lemanczyk, 2-7, pickoff. No, but we go at the park. Anaheim, 3-4. It's a base hit. Rudy will get a single pass short, and the Angels will get a run on. Here's the second baseman, Bobby Grich. Some people think he belongs in the Hall of Fame. I definitely put him in the Hall of the Very Good. 271 average, 14 homers, 62 RBIs at 80. Infield is a double play. Rudy did have 1 steal, but he's not going to get one here. Lemanczyk, 1-7, walk. That's ball 4. He walked Grich. As Will Swingle joins us here at Anaheim Stadium. First walk given up by Lemanczyk. He only had 15 walks in 80. He didn't make that many starts. Here's the shortstop, Freddie Patek. 264 average, 5 homers, 34 RBIs. But already the Angels got something going on. Strategy and nothing on the 5. Lemanczyk will go ahead and deal. Lemanczyk, 1-2 at the park. Anaheim Stadium, 3-8. And that's a ground ball to short, and that's going to be a 14. Ground ball to short, that's going to be a 14. So let's see, 14 plus 0, and hit the short plus 1 is a 15. His double play rating is a 10 plus. That is going to be a 6-4-3 double play. Rudy will get to third, and Grich and Patek are out, 2 down. So 6-4-3 double play. And that will bring up the catcher, Tom Donahue. 188 average, 2 homers, 14 RBIs. So runner on third, 2 outs here, bottom of the second. Strategy for Rudy. He'll stay put. Lemanczyk, 6-8, walk. Ball, and nope, it's just going to miss. Donahue, 2-2, and that is with runners in scoring position. That is a fly ball to right field, but there is a runner in scoring position. Lemanczyk, a 1-11 to keep that an out. That is an 11. It's going to stay an out, and that's going to be a fly to right. And going after that will be Bonnell. And Bonnell will make the catch and retire the side. Wow. Lemanczyk almost turned that out into a hit. No runs and a hit for the Angels and a walk. Still tied at 1 after 2. David Vega joins us here at Anaheim Stadium. We go to the top of the third. And Ghost of a Flea, of course, joins us here at Anaheim Stadium. He could be the flea of a ghost. Rick Bosetti leads off for Toronto. He got a single his first time up. Tied at 1, top of the third. Aase, 4-3, strikeouts. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. That is going to be the third K for Aase, 1 away. Here's Bonnell. Bonnell 0 for 1. B. Shaker joins us here at Anaheim Stadium. Aase with the deal. Aase, 7-3 walk. 14 will be high. Bono, a 6-7. And against a righty, that's a ground ball to third. That'll get picked up by Lansford. Throw to first for out number 2. And now Velez. Velez is 0 for 1. Aase will deal. Aase, 4-5. That is a blank. Velez, 1-4. Fly ball center field. Easily play there from Miller. Miller will get it. And in the inning, 1, 2, 3 go the Blue Jays. We go to the bottom of the third. Leading off for the Halos, Rick Miller. He got a single and scored his first time up. Lemanczyk, he will pitch. Lemanczyk, 8-2, walk, 19 is high. Miller, 2-3, and it's a line out right to first base. That'll be gloved by Mayberry for the out. 1 down, here's Lansford. Lansford is 0 for 1. Lemanczyk with the deal. Lemanczyk, 8-4. Against a righty, it's a blank. Lansford, 4-7. Against a righty, it's a ground ball to short. And Griffin will get that. And over to first it goes for the second out. Here's Carew. He got a double his first time up. Michael Peterson joins us here at Anaheim Stadium. Lemanczyk will deal. Lemanczyk, 8-6. Against the lefty, that's going to be a base hit. It'll be a hit into left field. That'll be a single to left for Carew. He now has a single in the game. So now he's 2 for 2 for Rod Carew. And now here's Baylor. Baylor got a single his first time up. Strategy roll here for Carew. I don't think he's going to do anything, and he won't. He actually gets the jump, but he'll stay at first. Baylor's got good home run, has a little bit of home run power. Lemanczyk will deal. Lemanczyk, 5-8, strikeout, and wow, that just missed. Baylor, 8-8, popped up, pop fly ball to third. That's going to be Bob. So Don Baylor will pop out to Bob Baylor, and that'll end the inning. No runs and a hit. Tied at 1 after 3. Yes, B. Shaker says, Carew the hit machine. Yes, he was. He is definitely one of the greatest. I know no one will disagree that Rod Carew was one of the greatest of all time. We'll go to the top of the fourth. And Aase will pitch, of course. And it will be John Mayberry. And he walked his first time up. Aase with the deal. And 5-4. Strikeout. He got him. Another strikeout for Aase. That's his 4th. And the next up is Woods. Woods 0 for 1. Aase sets up and deals. Aase 7-6. That's a blank. Woods 6-2. Flied to right field. And that's going to be Ford getting to that. And that will be out number 2. And now Garcia. Garcia's 0 for 1. Aase settles in and deals. And 5-5. Walk. And nope. Garcia didn't walk much against righties. That 4 is too high. Garcia, 7-1. And that's a fly to left. That'll be an easy play for Rudy. And that is a 1-2-3 inning for Don Aase. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Another pitcher's duel here in 1980. Here's Disco Dan Ford leading off for Cali. He's 0 for 1. Lemanczyk will settle in and pitch. Lemanczyk, 5-3. Pitcher result. That 16 is going to be a blank. Ford, 7-1. Base hit for Ford. He'll slap a single past second. So Ford will get a hit. He'll hold it first. And it will bring up Rudy. Rudy. He got a single his first time up. Infield set for double play. Strategy. And that is a 19, and Rudy will swing. Lemanczyk will deal. Lemanczyk, 5-2. Range play at the park. Anaheim Stadium, 5-6. And that's a ground ball to second base. That's a ground ball to second. That ball is hit to Garcia. His range is a 4. Nope, it's going to be a base hit. And Ford will hold at second base. He does not have the speed. And now the Angels have something going on. So a single. And, of course, it was an 8, but Garcia is on the visiting team, not the home team. So he doesn't get the range play rolls of 8. Next batter is Gritch. Gritch is 0 for 0. He walked his first time up. Still trying to figure this out. It's not as hard. It's not that hard, Michael, but I can tell. But take your time. No rush. Runners at first and second. No one out. Bottom of the 4th. Angels got a good chance here. And nothing on the 3. Ford on at second. Rudy on at first. Lemanczyk, he will pitch. Lemanczyk, 3-8. That's an automatic out. It's going to be a fly ball to center field. And that'll be grabbed by Bosetti for out number 1. Does Ford take third? A 4-5. And no, he'll hold. So 1 out. And Ford stays where he is. And now it'll bring up Patek. Patek is 0 for 1. Runners at first and second, 1 out. Angels trying to go ahead and get something going. Strategy, nothing happening. Patek gets a hit and run, but with runners at first and second, you don't do that. Lemanczyk, 7-6. Pitcher result, 9. And against a righty. That's a possible home run. Against a righty. Patek needs a 7. I have to re-roll that, of course. Needs a 7 with runners on base -3. So a 1-4, Patek will go ahead and hit 1 out. No. Patek, 1-7, but he will get a base hit into center field. So we will get a single. Will it score Ford? Ford, 3-2. See, single 3-2. Yes, he will advance. Ford will come around and he will score. And Rudy with a base running rating of 2. And that is a 3. He will hold at second base. So run comes around and scores. It's an RBI single for Patek. Angels lead 2-1. Stadium cheers. Yay! RBI single for Patek. And Rudy holds at second base. Because the red 3 is higher than the 2. So now runners at first and second with 1 out. And the batter is Donahue. Donahue is 0 for 1. Angels got the 1 run in. We'll see if they can get some more. Strategy. Nothing on the 18. Donahue gets the sacrifice, but you're not going to bunt here. Lemanczyk, 2-1, error on a booted ball. Donahue, 7-4. That's powered into left field. That's an 11, and against a righty, that's going to be a double. That's going to be a double to left. Rudy will score. Will it score Patek? Double to left, 7-4, and it will no. Advances if it's hit to center. It was hit to left, so Patek will hold at third. Donahue holds at second. And we did say there was an error on a booted ball. I got to see now if there was an error. So it was hit to left field, and that is Woods. His error rating is a 7. That's an 11. He will not boot it, so it will be 3-1 in favor of the Angels. Stadium cheers. Yay! So double to left. I had to first check out the main rolls, and then if there was an error, then if there was a booted ball, then all of a sudden Patek would have scored, then Donahue would have gone to third. So now 3-1 Angels. Infield's now going to play in, and top of the order for Miller. Miller 1 for 2 with a 1 for 2 with a base hit. Now 3-1 in favor of the Halos. Strategy roll, nothing on the 9. Lemanczyk will deal. Lemanczyk, 5-3. That's a pitcher result, but the 20 is a blank. Miller, 2-8. And that is going to be a ground ball to first. The infield is in on this play. So let's see what happens on the grounder to first. And that is an 18. So grounder to first, Patek is a 5. And so we add 1 to that roll. So 18 becomes a 19. And it's hit to first. And that is going to be, the run is going to score. And the batter is going to be out. So Patek will come in to score. But that was hit to first base. So that'll be handled by Mayberry. He's going to take the sure route at first to get the out. Donahue goes to third. It's now 4-1 Angels. Stadium cheers. Yay! So on the infield end, the runner on third scores, and I'll show it to you here on the chart. The roll was at the first. The 18 became a 19, and because it actually went up 1 more because of the added adjusted roll, they made sure they got the sure out at first. So they're now 2 down, but now 4-1, and now the batter is Lansford. And Lemanczyk will be tired after Lansford. He is 0 for 2. So 4-1 Halos now. Strategy roll and nothing on the 20. Lemanczyk will deal. Lemanczyk 1-5. It's a blank. Lansford 2-7, and that's a fly to left. That will do it, as Woods will get to it and retire the side. 3 runs on 4 hits for the Halos. They now have a 4-1 lead after 4. Lemanczyk is tired. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th. Or top of the 5th, I should say. Aase back on the mound. Leading off for the Bluebirds is Bob Baylor. He got a single his first time up. Aase will deal. Aase, 7-8. That's a blank. Baylor, 8-7. And that's going to be an infield single to second base. That'll get picked up there by Gritch. But he's not going to have a play. And he will be safe at first. So Baylor gets an infield single. Next batter is Witt. And Witt reached on an error his first time up. Baylor did have 12 steals. And I don't see him going anywhere, and he won't. Aase will pitch. Aase, 6-6 at the park. Anaheim Stadium, 6-6. Ground ball to first base. Grounder to first, and that's a 20. And Witt has a 7+ for double plays. I know that's going to be a 3-6-3 double play, 2 outs. I do not have to go any further than that. That is going to be a 3-6-3 double play. With a double play rating of 7, I rolled a 20. Although Chris actually tells me to look at the die first before I look at the batter, but I kind of figure it out. It was hit to first, so actually it would have been a -2 to the roll. What am I doing? There's only 2 outs. So -2 to the roll, it still wouldn't have mattered. So the next batter is Griffin, and Griffin is 0 for 2. Aase will set the deal. Aase, 2-6, error on a booted ball. Griffin, 5-5. That's a ground ball right back to Aase, and that's going to be an error. That's a G1 back to Aase. His error rating is a 20, and Griffin's going to be safe. So Aase boots the ball, trying to collect it and get to first, and Griffin will be safe there, and that is going to be the second error on the Angels. So Griffin reaches on an E1. That's 2 errors on the Halos. It'll now bring up Bossetti. Bossetti 1 for 2. But the Angels have a 4-1 lead here. And nothing happening on the strat. Aase will deal. Aase, 4-2. It's a blank. Bossetti, 1-5. And that's a grounder to third. Picked up easily there by Lansford. He's going to throw to first to get Bossetti. He's a little slower, and that will end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, but the Blue Jays couldn't do anything with it. And we'll go to the bottom of the third, bottom of the fifth. Lemanczyk is tired. They're going to try to see if we can get one more inning out of him. But it will be Rod Carew leading off for the Angels. 2 for 2, a single and a double. Carew does have a chance of triples, and he can hit a home run, but not easily done. Lemanczyk will pitch. Lemanczyk, 2-3, and against the lefty. And against the lefty, that is a possible home run. With bases empty, you add 2. You add 2. Carew against a righty is a 2, which will make that a 4. That's a 5. He just missed it. Carew, 5-7, but he's going to have to settle for a high, deep fly ball to left field. And going for that is going to be Woods. He's at the track. He is at the wall, but he will make the catch. And that is out number 1. He just missed it. Just missed a home run. Lemanczyk, if that was a +3, that would have been gone. Here's Baylor. Baylor is 1 for 2 with a single. Lemanczyk will deal. Lemanczyk, 6-7. That is a blank. Baylor, 6-2. That's powered into left field. That's a 7, and that's going to be a double. Baylor's going to go ahead and get himself a double. He'll head to second base. And that's his second hit of the game. And now Disco Dan. Dan is 1 for 2 with a single. Lemanczyk will pitch to Dan Ford. 1 out here, bottom of the fifth, 4-1 Angels. If Lemanczyk gives up a run, I'll yank him. So Lemanczyk trying to get out of the inning here. Strategy, nothing on the 5. Lemanczyk will pitch. Lemanczyk, 8-1, error on a booted ball. Ford, 7-2. That's a ground ball. That's a grounder to second base. That ball is hit to Garcia. His error rating is a 7. That's a 12. That's not going to be an error. It'll be picked up by Garcia. The throw goes to first for out number 2, and Baylor goes to third. Grounder to second, but Garcia will not make an error. And now here's Rudy. Rudy. He's 2 for 2 with 2 singles. This will be Lemanczyk's final inning, though. Baylor on at third. Rudy at first. 4-1 Halos. Strategy. Nothing happening. Lemanczyk. 7-6. That's a pitcher result. That's an 11. And against a righty, it's a possible home run. Against a righty, Rudy has a 21. And that won't matter because it has an exclamation point. So that is going to be long and gone. Kaboom! That ball is high. That ball is deep. That ball is gone. Home run, Joe Rudy. Stadium cheers. Yay! Two-run bomb for Joe Rudy. Because a 7-6. 7-6 is a pitcher result. The 11 comes down here against a right-handed batter, and that is an 11. And that will bring in 2 runs at 6-1 Halos. That will be it for Lemanczyk. So Joe Rudy knocks out Lemanczyk, and we're going to see a new pitcher for the Bluebirds. Here's Gritch. He's the next batter. And the Blue Jays are going to bring out a righty, I believe. And coming on to pitch for the Blue Jays is going to be Joey McLaughlin. 6 wins, 9 losses, 4 saves, a 4.51 ERA. Lemanczyk leaves with an L. McLaughlin will pitch. And he can pitch to 9. So Gritch will lead off here. Well, not lead off. He's back. Still 2 outs. Bottom of the fifth, but now 6-1 Angels. McLaughlin, 6-6. Range play 13. That is a range play. It's a 3. Gritch, 6-3. Against the righty. It's a grounder to second. It's a base hit past second. but Garcia has a chance for a range play. His range is a 4. He's got it. Nice play by Garcia, and he'll pick it up and throw to first for the out, and that will retire the side. 2 runs, 2 hits, a 2-run bomb by Joe Rudy, and it's 6-1 Angels after 5. Ernest, Lemanczyk became an Angel this season. Lemanczyk became an Angel this season, as a matter of fact, if you're wondering, because, as you saw, Lemanczyk, he became an Angel this season, actually. So that's the one thing I love now about Inside Pitch Advanced. Chris makes cards for every traded player. And I'll be honest, they probably really should have been doing that for regular Inside Pitch too. But I told him to go all out for Inside Pitch Advanced, and I'm trust, and I know a lot of people are happy he did that. Barry Bonner leads off for the Bluebirds. He's 0 for 2. Top of the 6 now, 6-1 Halos. Aase, 6-8 against a righty. Strikeout, no. Bonner, 8-7, and that's a grounder to second base. That'll be picked up by Grich. Grich throws it over, 1 down. Here's Velez. Velez is 0 for 2. Aase, a 1-7. Strikeout, got him. He'll go ahead and strike out Velez. That is strikeout number 5 for Aase. 2 away. And now Mayberry. Mayberry is 0 for 1 with a walk. Aase, 4-3. Strikeout 8. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Nice job by Don Aase. 6 strikeout for him. And 1, 2, 3 go the Blue Jays. We go to the bottom of the 6th. McLaughlin will stay on the mound. And Freddie Patek leads off for the Halos. He's 1 for 2 with a single. McLaughlin will pitch. McLaughlin, 3-5, strikeout. That'll be too high. Patek, 8-7. That's a fly ball to left. Easy play for Al Woods. And he'll grab it for the out. Next batter is Donahue. Donahue 1 for 2 with a double. McLaughlin will pitch. And 1-2. Walk. 17 is high. Donahue. 5-6. And that's fly to left. Easy play for Woods again. Woods is not even going to have to move. He'll make the play. 2 down. Here's Miller. Miller 1 for 3 with a single. McLaughlin. He will deal. McLaughlin, 5-8, range play 13. That's an 18. It will not be a range play. Miller, 8-7, and that's a fly to center field. And that'll be handled by Bosetti. And he'll make the catch and retire the side. 1, 2, 3, go the Halos. First time the Halos go down in order. And it's 6-1 Halos after 6. Has anyone seen Ben Witz lately? He has not been in my chat the last few games. Known as is known as Ump Man. Has anyone seen Ben Witz? He usually visits my games. I haven't seen him in the chat lately. I saw him last night. I don't want you. You don't like me no more? What did I do? We go to the top of the 7th. Al Woods leads off for the Bluebirds. He is 0 for 1, actually 0 for 2. Al Woods Aase can pitch to 4 more batters before he tires, but he's got a 5-run lead. And may see if he may go the distance. Aase, 1-7, strikeout 5. He got Woods, and that is the 7th strikeout for Aase and his 3rd consecutive. 1 down. And now Garcia 0 for 2. Aase will pitch. Aase, 1-3, strikeout. The 15 will be too high. Garcia, 6-5, and that's fly to center field. And that'll be handled there by Miller. And that's out number 2. Here's Baylor. Baylor 2 for 2 with 2 singles. Aase will deal. Aase 2-1. That's a blank. Baylor 8-4. And that's a fly to center field. Once again, a play from Miller. Miller will get to it and retire the side. 1, 2, 3. Go the Blue Jays. 6-1 Angels. And we are at the 7th inning stretch. Sing, take me out to the ball game. I'll be right back. Don't forget, we got 10-minute ticker coming up after tonight's game. Our next matchup, we're going to be going a little bit north. We're going to go back to the Northeast. We're going to Fenway Park for our first time this ball season. The Kansas City Royals will take on the Boston Red Sox. We have not seen the Royals or the Red Sox yet in 1980, and we're going to see them tomorrow night. Dennis Leonard will be pitching for the Royals, and Bob Stanley will be pitching for the Red Sox. We will be at Fenway Park tomorrow night for the Royals and the Red Sox. We're going to stay in the American League for a couple more games. That'll be tomorrow night here on Inside Pitch Advanced at Fenway Park. Bottom of the 7th, Angels lead the Blue Jays 6-1. And Joey McLaughlin is going to pitch. And Carney Lansford leads off for the Angels. He's 0 for 3. McLaughlin will pitch. McLaughlin, 5-7. That's a pitcher result. That 6 is going to be a blank against a righty. Lansford, 2-8. And he flies one to right. And Bonnell will make the play. Here's Carew. Carew is 2 for 3, a single and a double. McLaughlin will deal. McLaughlin, 1-2, walk. And yeah, ball 4. McLaughlin didn't like the call. That was right on the lot. That was right on the black. But Carew, probably because of how good he is going to get the call. And that is going to be a walk. And here's Baylor. Baylor 2 for 3, a single and a double. Infield set for double play. Strategy rolls are off. There's another channel we're playing a National League game anymore. Remember, he's doing Baseball Demos is doing a 1987 American League replay on Stratomatic, and his Demolition League, I believe his Demolitions League, I think for 2020, I think it's got more American League than National League. But hey, you know Baseball Demos. His projects are always awesome. McLaughlin, 1-4, wild pitch. No, that 20 is actually going to be too high. Baylor, 6-6, and that's a grounder to second base. That's a 14. That's going to be higher than this anyway, but I'll do it anyway. Grounder to second, 14 plus 4 is 18. Grounder to second plus 1 is a 19. That's going to be a 4-6-3 double play. And that will retire the side. Nothing across except a walk. 6-1 Halos after 7. As McLaughlin is a double play pitcher, so he usually gets the double plays. We go to the top of the 8th. And it will be Ernie Witt leading off. Aase can pitch to one more batter before he tires. He'll pitch. Aase will deal. Aase, 8-6. That's at the park. Anaheim Stadium. 1-7, and against a righty, it'll be a base hit. That'll be a single pass short, and Witt is on first. Single there. Now Aase is tired, and they're going to let him pitch to Griffin. Let him pitch to Griffin. Griffin is 0 for 3, but reached on an error. Infield is a double play. Strategy rolls are off. Aase, 6-8 against the switch. Against the switch left. That's a possible home run. Against the righty, Griffin needs a 1. With runners on base, you add 1. You add 2. So that would be a 3. The 6 is too high. Griffin, 6-4, and it's a fly ball to left field. And going back for it is Rudy. He's going to have just enough room, and that's going to be out number 1. Here's Bosetti. Bosetti 1 for 3 with a single. Aase will deal. Aase 4-8. That's a blank. Bosetti 7-5. That's a fly to center field. Miller will get to that. And that is out number 2. Next batter is Bonnell. Bonnell is 0 for 3. Witt on it first, 2 outs, top of the 8th. Aase with the deal. Aase, 7-4. Strikeout. Got him, and the inning is over. Aase gets his 8th strikeout tonight. No runs and a hit for the Blue Jays. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Let's see. Leading off for the Angels will be Dan Ford. We'll see a new pitcher for Toronto, and it's going to be another righty as McLaughlin coming out of the game. Ford is 1 for 3 with a single. So coming on to pitch for the Blue Jays is going to be Tom Buskey. I have no idea who he is. 3 wins, 1 loss, a 4.45 ERA. Tom Buskey is going to try to just go ahead and pitch this 8th into the 9th. And he can pitch to 9. And Disco Dan Ford will lead off. Tom Buskey will go ahead and deal. Buskey, 2-5 against a righty. Strikeout. That just missed. Ford, 5-2. Grounder right back to the pitcher. Buskey will get that. And he will throw it over to first for the out. Here's Rudy. Rudy, 3 for 3 tonight. 2 singles and a bomb. He's having a great night tonight. Buskey will go ahead and deal. Buskey, 4-3. Strikeout, and he'll get Rudy. Struck him out for out number 2. And now the batter is Gritch. Gritch is 0 for 2 with a walk. Buskey gets in there. Gritch gets ready. Pitch from Buskey. And that's an 8-4. And that's a possible home run. Gritch against the righties of 15. With bases empty, -3 makes him a 12. And because of that, the 15 is too high. Buskey prevents a home run. Gritch, 4-4. But he will get a base hit. Gritch against a righty, that will be a single past third. So he doesn't get a homer, but he does get a hit. As Buskey took away a home run from Gritch. And now a chance for Patek. Patek 1 for 3 with a single. 2 men down, bottom of the 8th, 6-1 Angels. Buskey deals. 7-1, range play 13. The 18 is too high. Patek, 7-4. That's going to be an infield single. It'll be an infield single to first base. Mayberry is not going to get to it in time. He will knock it down. That's only going to be a 1-base advance, and Gritch will get to second base. So because it wasn't a range play, Mayberry didn't have a chance to stop it. And now the batter is Donahue. And Donahue is the catcher. You got runners at first and second. Got a 5-run lead, though. When I bring in a pinch hitter here just for the heck of it. Let's see. The other catcher the Angels have. I don't know if they have another catcher, do they? Do I have another catcher on the thing? I think Donahue's the only catcher I got in this lineup tonight. Yeah. I have no other catcher. So Donahue has to bat. So 2 men down. Gritch on at second. Patek on at first. No strategy roll. Buskey will deal. Buskey, 3-6. Strikeout, 19. Got him, and the inning is over. Lucky for him, Donahue has a strikeout rating of 24, and he goes down on strikes. And that'll retire the side. No runs, 2 hits for the Halos. 6-1 after 8. But will we see some 9th inning magic? Question is Don Aase, is he going to try to get a complete game? And let me see if he had any that year. He only had 8 wins. So Don Aase, he had 5. Okay. So he had 5 complete games in 80. And he's got a 5-run lead. I'll let him try to get it. So he's going to try to go for the complete game. Otto Velez leads off for the Blue Jays. He is 0 for 3. Otto Velez is the DH, or we may see a pinch hitter. Let's see. We want to bring in a pinch hitter. And it really doesn't matter for Velez. Roy Howell can come in and pinch hit. Now, Velez actually is the guy to keep with. Otto Velez is going to come out of the game, and coming on to take over designated hitter will be Roy Howell. 269 average, 10 homers, 57 RBIs, but he is a lefty, and he has 3 pinch hits against righties. So Howell's going to take over at DH. And he has 3 pinch hits against righties. So he's going to pinch hit here in the top of the 9th. So top of the 9th inning, Aase trying to go for a complete game. If he gives up a run, I'll yank him. Bullpen is ready. Aase will deal. Aase, 6-5. That is a blank. Howell, 3-8. And with no runners in scoring position, that's an automatic out. Shit. Dang it. Hold on. Timeout. I just poked myself. And give me a second here. Timeout. Hold on. Okay. So let's see here. 3-8. No runners in scoring position. Don Aase, that would be an automatic out. Don Aase is a 9. That's a 5. It will stay an out. And that's going to be a ground ball to first. And that'll get picked up by Carew. He'll take it himself, and that'll be out number 1. Unfortunately, what just happened is I used this as a pointer. But what this is actually a set of tweezers. And this thing just popped off, and I got poked in the finger with this. And I am, unfortunately, bleeding a little red here. So I got to be careful not to get it on the card. So I got something covering my finger. So that's the first out, though. So let's see if I can complete this. Here's Mayberry. Mayberry is 0 for 2, and it does hurt. Yeah, Band-Aid time. All right, so Mayberry is the next batter. He's 0 for 3. There is 1 out. Aase will deal. Aase, 1-6. So that's a pitcher result. That 5 against the lefty is going to be a blank. Mayberry, a 1-4. That's a fly ball to right field. Ford's going to get to that. He'll make the catch for out number 2. 2 outs. And the last chance for the Blue Jays will be Al Woods. Woods is 0 for 3. Fans here at Anaheim Stadium trying to go ahead and get it done. Don Aase trying to get a complete game. Aase sets up. He will pitch. And I'm rolling with the left hand, with my right hand right now. Aase, 3-6. It's a blank. Woods, 5-3, and it's an automatic out. That's going to be a fly ball to left field, and Joe Rudy's going to come in and get it, puts out his glove, blop, and the ball falls into it. That's your game. The California Angels will get a 6-1 win tonight here over the Blue Jays. Stadium cheers. Yay! Nothing across for the Blue Jays as the Angels will take a 6-1 victory here. Aase, a complete game win. Final line score coming up. For the Angels, 6 runs, 13 hits, 2 errors. For the Blue Jays, 1 run, 4 hits, and no errors. The winning pitcher is Don Aase. He'll go the distance with a complete game. Dave Lemanczyk will take the loss. So that is all here for this game here, but we are still not done. 10-minute ticker is next. And yes, we're still going to do it. Damn it. I didn't even know that Al Red Sox fan wasn't in the chat. Well, it was always a pleasure when Al Red Sox fan joins me for a ball game. Check out the guy. Check out the King of the Hill. There is nobody that does it better. It is now time for the 10-minute ticker, brought to you by FastScore Baseball. So the Angels do beat the Blue Jays 6-1. Let's see how the rest of the majors does tonight. May 6th, Minnesota at Baltimore. Let's see. Twins 346. That is 4. Angels 8. Orioles 1831, and that is also 4. And there'll be extras. I just rolled a big dice. Let's see here. Minnesota rolls a 2, plus 1 is 3. Orioles roll a 6, minus 1 is 5. That will be a win for the Orioles. By the way, there, as I said, Al Red Sox fan, your Red Sox are on the board tomorrow night, if you're still in the chat there. But the Red Sox are on the board tomorrow night. Kansas City and the White Sox. Let's see. What Royals 23-15, and that's 3. White Sox minus 111, that's 0. That'll be a win for the Royals. Yankees and the Brewers. Yankees 15-24, and that's 3. Brewers 14-66, and that's 11. That's a win for the Brew Crew. Cleveland at Oakland. Indians 11-46, and that is 5. Athletics 10-63, that is 7. A win for the A's. Detroit at Seattle. Detroit 21-25, that's 4. Mariners 6-14, and that is 1. A win for the Cats. Boston at Texas. Red Sox 13-12, and that's 1. Rangers 25-46. That's going to be 8. A win for the Rangers. Padres and the Cubs. Padres 8-31, and that is 3. Cubs 7-11, that's 0. A win for the Friars. Astros and the Expos. Yes, Devo9, don't worry. I know who we have not on the board yet. Don't worry. Every team will be seen at least once. Every team gets seen at least twice in the first 2 schedule blocks before I cut down for teams that are on the playoff bubble. Astros 1634, and that's 5. Expos 916, that is 2. That's a win for the Astros. Reds and the Mets. Can my Mets get a win? Reds 1416, and that is 2. Mets 1163, that is 8. And my Mets will get a happy recap. Braves and the Phillies. Braves 766, that will be 9. Phillies 1214, that is 2. A win for the Bravos. Dodgers and the Pirates. Dodgers 1022, that is 2. Pirates 015, that's 1. A win for the Dodgers. Giants and the Cardinals. Giants 754, and that is 5. Cardinals 1414, that is 2. That's a win for the Giants. May 7th, Minnesota at Baltimore. Twins 616, that's 1. Orioles 1023, that's 3. A win for the O's. Toronto and the Angels. Blue Jays 1451, that's 6. Halos 836, that is 4. And the Blue Jays will get that win. Royals and the White Sox. Royals 2554, and that is 8. White Sox 435, that is 3. And that's a win for the Royals. Yankees and the Brewers. Yankees 1522, that is 3. Brewers 1011, that's 0. And that is a win for the Yankees. Cleveland and the A's. Cleveland 1355, that's 7. Oakland 1164, that's 8. And the A's will get the win. Detroit at Seattle. Tigers 1665, that is 10. Mariners 553, and that is 5. And that's a win for the Cats. Boston at Texas. And yes, people, I'm doing all of this with one hand, since I'm trying to keep the other hand away from everything until it stops bleeding. Boston 1121, and that is 2. Red Sox 1664, and that is 9. That's a win for the Rangers. Padres and the Cubs. Padres, this show must go on, people. Padres 1025, that is 3. Cubs 613, that is 1. That's a win for the Padres. Astros and the Expos. Astros 232, and that's 2. Expos 725, that is 3. That's a win for the Spos. Reds and the Mets. Can my Mets get a win? Reds 1261, and that is 7. Mets 345, that is 4. And this one belongs to the Reds. Dodgers and the Pirates. Dodgers 1052, that's 5. Pirates 632, and that is 3. It's a win for the Dodgers. Giants and the Cardinals. Giants 643, and that is 4. Cardinals 944, that is 5. It's a win for the Redbirds. May 8th, Toronto at California. You won't see the other. You won't see somebody that's bloody playing ball on that other channel with the fluffy cat. Blue Jays 1366, that's 11. Angels 1325, and that is 3. It's a win for the Jays. Royals and the White Sox. Royals 721, that is 2. White Sox 565, and that is 7. A win for the Palehose. Baltimore at Milwaukee. Orioles 866, that's 9. Brewers 1043, that is 5. A win for the O's. Detroit at Seattle. Tigers 1545, that is 6. Mariners 662, that is also 6. And they're going to extras. Detroit rolls a 3, -2 is 1. Seattle rolls a 4, -1 is 3. That's going to be a win for the Mariners. Padres and the Cubs. Padres 5-13. That is 1. Cubs 4-15. That is 1. And they're going to extras. Padres roll a 3 +0. Cubs roll a 6 and -1 is 5, and that will be a win for the Cubs. That is your 10-minute kicker. If your team won tonight, congratulations. If they didn't, there's always tomorrow. Tomorrow will be May 9th. We will be at Fenway Park as the Kansas City Royals will take on the Boston Red Sox. Dennis Leonard for the Royals, Bob Stanley for the Red Sox. That'll be tomorrow night on the network. Be there or be square, and hopefully I'm not bleeding at that time. Thank you all for joining me tonight. Please leave a like on your way out to the turnstiles. Subscribe if you're not done so, and make sure you hit the bell. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay smart, stay strong, and we'll see you guys tomorrow night. The Angels used their halos. They were flying high tonight. They beat the Blue Jays 6-1. We'll see you guys tomorrow night.